الله الرحمن الرحيم قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون.
I shall cause thy message to reach the corners of the earth. Voice of Islam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another episode of Voice of Islam. So today we'll be speaking on the introduction to Salat or the Muslim prayer. So there are different types of prayers within Islam. To be specific, there are 4 different types of prayers within Islam. All right, and so the first one, as you can see, is fard prayers, which is fard. The Arabic word means obligatory. Right. So these are the ones in which you must do. Right. So the fard prayers are the ones that you must do as a Muslim. All right. So the fard prayer is performed in congregation. So it's one that every single person does behind the imam or the leader of the prayers. All right. So this fard prayer or obligatory prayer, or the ones that you must do, it is better for you to perform them in congregation at the mosque. All right. It's preferable that you do this. But if it's not possible for you to do so, then it's fine. But it's preferable, or it's better for you, or it's more blessings for you if you do it behind the imam in the mosque. Um, but if you're not able to do it in the mosque or in congregation, you can offer it at home alone or in any other place. For example, if you're at work and you have a place that you can go and perform your prayers, then that's all fine and well. Or even if you don't have some place to go and you want to do it still at the specific time and place, um, you can perform it. So there are 5 daily fard prayers or obligatory prayers, right? It is very serious, or it is a very serious sin in the sight of God if you intentionally miss a obligatory or fard prayer. However, if you happen to miss it unintentionally, you may offer a qada prayer or a missed prayer, right? These are for those who are working or something like that, and you really don't have the time to be able to pray certain prayers, and you are not able to do it at work. Then you may miss it because it's not intentional, and you can perform a missed prayer. All right. The second prayer, or the type of prayer, is the wajib prayer. So these prayers are considered necessary, but it's not obligatory. So it's not a must, but it's necessary. You should do them, right? Right. It's not as serious as the you know as missing the fard prayer or the obligatory prayer, but it's necessary, and it brings more blessing within your life if you do them. So these wajib prayers is one. The witr prayers, or the witr prayer, is the 3 prayers that you do after tahajjud prayers, or if you did not perform tahajjud prayers, it's the 3 prayers that you do after isha prayers, right? The night prayers. There is Eid al-Fitr, the prayer that we do and at the celebration of the end of Ramadan. That is the Eid al-Fitr prayers. Then there is the Eid al-Adha prayers, which is the prayer that we do after the celebration of the finishing of Hajj, right? So these prayers are considered wajib prayers or necessary prayers. So the first one is fard, obligatory prayers. 2 wajib prayers, which are the necessary prayers. The 5 prayers are the 5 daily salats or prayers, right? The Fard prayers, the obligatory prayers, are the 5 daily prayers. The wajib prayers, the necessary prayers, is the Witr prayer, which is the 3 rakats, or the up and down, that you do after tahajjud. Or if you did not perform tahajjud prayers, then you perform the Witr prayers um, after your 2 sunnah, after the Isha prayers. Then there's also the Eid al-Fitr prayers and the Eid al-Adha prayers. These are necessary to gain more blessing, and so it's not obligatory, but it's necessary. And it is also a sin to intentionally miss a wajib prayer. But if you happen to miss it unintentionally, that person is not required to offer it as a missed prayer, right? So that is the difference between a obligatory prayer and a wajib prayer. The obligatory prayer, you must do the qada, you must do the missed prayer, right? You must catch it up. But with the wajib prayer, the necessary prayer, you don't have, if you intentionally miss it, it is a sin, yes. But if you did not miss it intentionally, you don't have to do a missed prayer, right? That's the difference between fard and wajib. Then there is the sunnah prayers. So the sunnah prayers is the practice of the Holy Prophet of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he used to offer additional prayers before and after the obligatory prayers, the 5 daily prayers, right? And so these are called sunnah prayers. It is very rewarding to offer these prayers, but to miss them intentionally is an act of disapproval in the sight of God. So, God doesn't like it that you missed it, because it is a rewarding prayer. These sunnah prayers, all right. So we should not try to intentionally miss these, because then we will not gain the love of God Almighty, right? And then there is the nafil prayers, or the nawafil prayers. So these are additional prayers, but they're optional. All right. So these are additional prayers, but optional prayers, and they're preferably performed in a person's home. So you should perform these at home, and you can do them as many as you like. These optional prayers you can do as much as you like. But and by offering them, one can achieve more blessing from God Almighty. Moreover, the sunnah and the nawafil prayers make good any shortcomings in the performance of the obligatory prayers. So, for example, if you, let's say, miss the obligatory prayers, that because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will ask you about your prayers, and the scales of good, your salah will be amongst that. So if you, let's say, did you missed a lot of obligatory prayers, but you did a lot of sunnah prayers throughout your life, then these sunnah and these optional prayers will add to your good deeds, so that the scale of your good deeds can go up. All right. So that is what it means, that it will make any shortcomings good if you did miss the obligatory prayers. So the Hajj prayer is an optional prayer, right? It is among the Nawafil prayers, and it is reported in the saying of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he used to offer the optional prayers very frequently, and they should be they should be performed 2 rakat at a time. So, for example, those of you who know the prayer, Fajr prayers, you go up once, you go down once, and you come up back, and then you go down again. That is 2 rakats. The full movement, that is 1 rakat. Full going down from standing to prostration, then up, that is 1 rakah, and then whatever amount of time that you go up and come down, that is the amount of rakah. So usually, nawafil or optional prayers are done 2 rakat at a time. All right. So one can perform as many optional prayers as one likes. There's no limit to the amount of nawafil or optional prayers. All right. So as I explained before, a rakah is one whole series of postures which starts from standing and ends with prostration. So if we stand twice, it means that we have performed 2 rakat. If the prayer is composed of 4 rakat, we have to sit down after 2 rakat and recite tashahhud, and then stand up without ending our prayer and complete our 4 rakat by saying 2 more rakat. The table of rakat for various prayers are as follows, as you can see here. So, as you can see, these are the sunnah, and also there is nafil prayers. Now, the sunnah are the ones in full dark, right? But the nawafil, or the optional prayers, is the one that is a bit light green. Okay, let me just go here a bit closer. Hold on, it's too close. Yeah, so this is it right here. So the optional prayers are the ones that are green, and the sunnah prayers are the ones that are black. So now sunnah, for Fajr, as you know, we have 5 daily prayers. These are the Fard prayers, right? Fard prayers are the obligatory prayers, right? So Fajr is the dawn prayer, or the one that we perform before the rising of the sun. So we have 2 Fard prayers, but before that we have to pray 2 Sunnah prayers, right? So 2 Sunnah, then 2 Fard. All right. After that, we don't have any other thing that we have to do, right? Then there is a noon or zuhur prayers, in which we do 4 Sunnah before the praying of the obligatory prayers. As I said before, these Fard prayers are the ones that you usually perform at the mosque behind the imam. But if you cannot do that, yeah, you are allowed to do it at any space that you are, but you cannot throughout the day miss these prayers, because these are the ones that are punished if spiritually you're punished if you do not perform these. All right, so 4 Sunnah before the Fard prayers, or the obligatory prayers, and then behind the Imam 4, and then after that there's a Sunnah again of 2. All right. Also, you can pray 2 more as a optional prayer, right? So the 2 more optional prayers. Then there is the Asr prayers, or the afternoon prayers, in which you can, before you perform the Fajr or the obligatory Asr prayers of 4, you can perform 4 before the start of it as a optional prayer, right? You don't. It's not a must that you perform this. It's also not a must that you perform this one, right? But they are optional, and it is more blessings to do so. So you perform the Fard prayers, or the 4 behind the Imam, or any place that you are. Then there's the Maghrib prayers, all right? The one that we did, the ones that we just performed. All right, if you are a Muslim, then you should have just performed the Maghrib prayers, because the sun just set. So there is the 3 Fard, right, or obligatory prayers. Then there is the 2 Sunnah afterwards, and then there's also another 2 that you can perform as optional, right? Then after that, Isha prayers, or the evening prayers. This is the one that you pray before, wrapping the whole day up. There is the 4 Fard prayers behind the Imam or in the mosque, or the obligatory prayers that you must perform any place that you are. Then there is the 2 Sunnah prayers that you pray after the obligatory prayers. And then there is an option that you can pray 2 more nawafil, or optional prayers. But then there is the Witr prayers, which is the tree right here, which is the wajib, or the necessary prayers. So this is performed, these 3 are performed once you did not perform tahajjud prayers for that day. All right. And so this is the table that we use to show how you must schedule out your day for prayers in Islam. There are some times in which we must um, combine prayers, and so sometimes we do combine prayers, yes. So that would mean that the only time that you can combine prayers, or the only prayers that you can combine, is the Zuhur and the Asr prayers together, right? Or the Maghrib and Isha prayers together. But you cannot. It should not be done that you combine Fajr and Zuhur, Asr and Maghrib, and then perform Isha on its own. The only ones that is allowed is for Zuhur and Asr to be performed together, and then Maghrib and Isha, right? And so this is what is allowed. So when you perform Zuhur and Asr prayers combined, then the Imam will lead you 4 and 4, right? Then once Maghrib and Isha is performed or combined, it will be 3 and 4. All right. And so once you do perform the Zuhur and Asr prayers together, you should perform the 4 Sunnah prayers before the combination of both. But then you would not need to perform the 2 after the Zuhur prayers. This will be forgotten, and so you will do the 4 before, and the 8 together with the Imam, right? Then there's a Maghrib and Isha, 3 and 4. All right. And so this is how the table is left, and this is how Muslims pray. So inshallah ta'ala, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Sister Khadija, Daniel, and also Darren. So I hope that this small table helped you to understand how to pray, and how you can perform your prayers better. On Wednesday, inshallah ta'ala, we will continue on this topic. So with that being said, I want to thank you so much for your time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all profusely throughout your days. And may Allah continue to give you health, and inshallah ta'ala, we will continue with the topic. So thank you so much for joining us once again on Voice of Islam. You can visit us at Masjid Noor at a mile and a half George Price Highway, or number 6 Strong Street in Belmopan. You can contact us at 615-2651 in Belize, and also 614-8822 at Belmopan. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, blessings, mercy of Allah be upon you all.